Alrighty, welcome to the first episode of Business Diaries. Today, I wanted to talk about why you can't rely on your business for happiness. Now, the context for me is I've been in business since I was 21, which is crazy to say. I'm 28 now. I used to own a coffee shop, a chocolate factory, and now I run a mass tuition business that works with about 700 students in the UK. And the reason I've been thinking about this is just because obviously when you're in business, it's kind of so all-consuming. It's all we focus on all day, every day. And I've noticed that it really can affect kind of your happiness and your mental health. And it's something I've really been working on. But there's kind of three reasons I think that you shouldn't allow your business to affect your happiness. And I'm going to tell you what I think they are and then what I've been doing about it. So the number one thing is that with business, you never get there. You don't just complete business one day and be like, cool, I've done it now, on to the next thing. Sure, obviously you're going to have goals along the way and kind of achievements that you have. But then it's on to the next, and the goalposts always keep moving. So you can't rely on just thinking, well, one day I'll get there. One day when I hit X amount of revenue or X milestone, I'll be happy, because that's not how it is. You have to make sure you enjoy the journey. And I've been very conscious of that when building this business specifically, in choosing intentionally, what do I want to do in business? Sure, obviously there are days where you have to do stuff where you're like, this is boring. You have to do the boring stuff. But at the same time, being very intentional about what you build and making sure it's genuinely something that you're passionate about and kind of want to devote yourself to, I guess. The second thing is that, especially at a small business level, things go wrong every day. That is just the nature of business. And unless you're at a point where you have kind of managers for every department, you're going to feel that. You're going to hear those things go wrong. It's going to happen to you yourself. And unless you have a really good handle on your emotions, you're going to feel that every time. And you're going to think, for goodness sake, why is it not working? Why has this thing gone wrong again? And so for me, the way I deal with that is kind of very intentionally managing my emotional responses and being aware that I'm in control of that, and feeling a piece of news and going, okay, that's fine, but I can either go and wallow and be upset about this, or I can do something about it. And the final thing is something that I only kind of realized recently, which is that business activities are leveraged, right? That's kind of the whole point of business, being able to get more for your time or your money, rather than you just always doing something to try and get outputs. And what that means is when something goes wrong or right, it happens at a leveraged multiplier as well. So if something goes wrong and, it's just you in the business, it's only you that affects. But if you've got 10 members of staff, 10 people on your team, potentially it affects all of them. All of a sudden, that one thing that went wrong is 10 times as worse. And so I think that's one of the biggest reasons that it can really affect how you feel, because you're like, oh, this actually feels like a much bigger problem on a much bigger scale, but it's just because of the nature of business. And again, for me, it's about being very conscious of my emotions and kind of not trying to tie it to the success of the business on any given day, and just realizing that actually I'm here to enjoy the whole entire process and essentially not just the wins. So yeah, let me know if you've experienced any of these things, and I'd love to know what you're doing as well to kind of manage the journey of entrepreneurship, because I know it can definitely be a tough one, but we're here for a good time.